Good morning. Hmm. Lots of stars in the sky this morning, except the moon is still so bright that it illuminates the sky so that you can't see as many stars as you would on a cloudless morning like I'm experiencing here in Florida. Anyway, today I'm going to do what I intended to do yesterday and did not get it done, but it's all in perfect order. The title for this morning is Ninth Wave Beyond October 28th to 11/11/11. I wrote, my friend Steve Beckow and others have postulated a 10th and 11th wave following completion of the 9th wave on October 28th. Dr. Georgy Stankov wrote more on this from a more elaborate scientific viewpoint. His article, The Ultimate Scientific Proof for the Accuracy of the Ascension Date at the Stargate 11/11/11, or How the Huge Changes of Gaia and Humanity Will Occur in the No Time at the Stargate of 11/11/11, can be found here, and I do provide the link on the YouTube page, and I will also provide it on the Facebook page. While I do not claim to grasp it well enough to teach it, it does bear a resonance of truth for me with one small caveat. And I'm going to deal with the caveat right up front. One of the paragraphs in Mr. Stankov's article goes on to say, I'll actually read it. Forget all indignant Steve Beckows. They are well placed in the company of avaricious reptilians. Forget also Wilcock and company, who never bothered to reflect on the nature of space-time and produce a decent scientific concept in their whole life. If you follow such prophets, it is your fault. You will be dumbed down. That's not the entire paragraph, but that's what I want to talk about. Obviously, this is Mr. Stankov's ego feeling the need to debunk those that aren't on his level. And as I recognized his judgment, I had to reflect on my own when I do that to people. When I think because they don't see something that I see, that somehow gives me the right to debase them. And it doesn't. And it doesn't give Mr. Stankov the right to criticize Mr. Beckow or David Wilcock or anyone else for that matter. We are each at our own level of understanding the nature of how things work. We're finding our way from the darkness to the light, the darkness that we have created for ourselves. And we're all human. We're all fallible. We all make mistakes. There's none of us that can speak with absolute perfection, not even the Pope or the President or anybody else. We're all human beings. And it really, all the changes that are occurring, it's up to us. Now, I will also add that another person sent me another debunking of David Icke, because David Icke is asking for help with some of his legal issues. He's facing two legal battles, one a divorce and another is someone that's trying to rob him, and the legal costs are expensive, astronomical actually. And I don't like it when people debunk, especially I'm aware of it when they debunk people that I do like. And I love David Icke, and I love David Wilcox, and I love Steve Beckow. And I think they do an outstanding job, and I want to applaud them and many others that I haven't named. I'm not going to try to take time to name all of those that have blessed me. But these are some that have blessed me in my life, and I appreciate them, and I don't like it when other people point out something that they see as a glaring fault or an error. And they might do that to me too. I'm sure there are people that do that to me. We're all human, folks. We need to be loving. We need to rise above that. I need to rise above that. Because we're all one here. Anyway, 11, 11, 11. 10th wave, 11th wave. We know from Dr. Carl Kalaman's and Ian Lungold's work that each level in the evolution of consciousness is 1/20th the size of the one that preceded it. And even though when Dr. Kalaman changed the start date from February the 11th to March the 9th and screwed up that whole pattern, because it's supposed to be a 260-day period, not a lesser period. But again, I'm not going to argue that point. I've gone along with the 18-day periods, but it's really 20-day periods. That's the truth. It's really 20-day periods, according to everything that went before in our understanding. That's what it is. It's not 18, it's 20 days. But anyway, I don't want to even argue that point. What I'm saying is that each one is 20 times smaller. So this 9th wave is 260 days, and I've even seen people that started on March the 9th and ended on October 28th who say it's 260 days, and it doesn't add up to 260 days when you use March 9th as the starting date. Anyway, the 10th wave, 13 days. Now, what are 13 days after October 28th? Well, that brings you up to November the 11th. Each one is a day long. November 10th, I'm sorry. If I said 11th, I misspoke. November 10th, it brings us up to November 10. And then the following day, the 11th wave, which is the new beginning. See, the 9 is completion, 10 is still a 1, and 11 is a master 1. Okay? We enter a whole new period on 11/11 when each day is 1 hour and 11 minutes long. The whole 11th wave completes in one day. 11/11 ascension. And Dr. Stankov's article says that space-time is one thing, not two. One thing, and that's where we've gotten messed up. And we talk about the speed of light and velocity. It has nothing to do with velocity because it's all present right now in no time. And that's why he uses in the article his no time. The Stargate is we enter no time. A different way of perceiving the universe is what I'm getting. And he talks about it being instantaneous change. In a flash, where the 4th and 5th dimensions overlay the 3rd dimension. He said they've always interacted with the 3rd dimension, but they're going to interact in a different way on 11/11, as literally we are transformed. Those of us that are ready are ascending while in the flesh. Our flesh is being changed. That's what he's saying. Many others have said that. Many channeled messages have indicated that. And he criticized some of the channeled messages too in his article, if I understood him correctly. This is not necessary. It's not necessary. We each have to stand in our own truth. And it doesn't make our truth any truer by criticizing someone that's not there yet. And these lessons that I'm learning about being non-judgmental, about loving unconditionally, these are the really meaty lessons. Not the argument over scientific equations. They're nice. But it all boils down to, do we love one another? Are we willing to look beyond the faults that we can perceive in each other and recognize that they're faults that we have had or have at some level of our being? We're moving very rapidly. Things are changing fast. When I look at the world, I still don't see it moving fast enough. Yet I know, I feel it moving. As I sat in the atrium this morning, there was such rest for me, and such an expectation that something huge is happening, and it's going to change everything. And so I encourage you today, once again, to consider the 10th and the 11th wave, to reflect, for those of you that are more scientifically minded than I am, to reflect on Mr. Stankov's article, or I guess Dr. Stankov's article. Don't want to demote him to a simple Mister. Anyway, if you can elaborate further on it, and it's your language. I think of my friend Bill Van Steven. It's his language. He'd get it. He'd get it. We're all going to get it. But in the meantime, as we go through these changes, let's love one another. Let's bolster people up where they're doing a good job. It doesn't matter that we're human and that we fall short. I do. I fall short a lot. And I don't care that others do, because my job, as I see it, your job, if you see it, is simply to love. Simply to love. This is what it's all about. And we will see the unity consciousness. We will move out of separation consciousness. We will recognize the interconnectedness of all life. We will. And I want to encourage you, because you will. Just open your heart. Follow your heart. Trust your gut. Let yourself be like a child, discovering each day as a new day. And after the 28th, each day is a full day in creation. Each day is only a day. Right now, it's 18 or 20 days, depending on which way you look at it. But then, each day is a day. And then on the 11, each day is only a little over an hour, for an hour and 11 minutes. 11. It's all 11s, all ones, new beginning, folks. This is the 9th wave that brings it to a completion. The 10th and the 11th wave, which take place in a 14-day period, changes everything. That should be great hope for those who want to see the city that's built by God in your heart manifested in our physical reality, because I believe that's exactly what's going to happen this year. I love you, and I leave you with this. Namaste. Thank you for listening.